Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week and every other week, my co-hosts Chocolate Bear.
How you doing, guys?
And DocH1X1.
What's up?
What's up? What's up is that it's not 6 a.m. So
Oh man. Yeah.
So any time that we're recording that isn't 6 a.m., I feel so much better. I feel alive.
You know, it's like 10:30 my time. I should be in bed.
No, that's a perfect time. That's the best time to be awake is 10:30.
Yeah.
Not in the night.
That's called
fine.
living, chocolate living.
That was called when I was younger.
It's called when you didn't have a child. Let's get down there. All right, how's your guys' weeks been? What have you been playing? Doc.
So I hate to be the guy that brings up a mobile game that I've tried out. Well, I guess it's on computer, but the main reason I tried this out is because it's coming to Xbox, is the Elder Scrolls Legends card game.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally all-right card game. Like, I'd never heard about it much until they brought it up again at E3. I knew it had been out for a while on mobile and PC, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's their own take on that
is it
genre.
Hearthstone? Hearthstone with Skyrim
it's probably
stuff?
much more similar to Hearthstone than it is like the Gwent CD Projekt Red card game.
Yeah.
So it's more akin to Hearthstone than that. They do basically just like Hearthstone, but it's 2 lanes, and like one of the lanes is like for one round you're invisible, and the other, or that card's in stealth or whatever, and the other lane is open all the time. So that's kind of their take on the Hearthstone formula, basically. But it's pretty fun. It's going to have the whole crossplay thing and cross saves and all that. So that's how I wanted to give it a shot and see if I liked it before it came out on Xbox. And it's totally serviceable card game. I don't know how much longer I'll keep it going, but the one thing I'll say about it is it's got a decent single player aspect to it, like kind of Hearthstone does, and it's got all those hooks in there to get dailies, and they introduce you to the currency pretty quick, and you see pretty quick the paid aspects of it. So it's definitely not any different from the other ones in that respect.
Is this totally a pay to win model? The more packs
honestly,
you can open.
I will say this about the card games: they still have that aspect of random draw and strategy. So it's not purely based off what's in your deck, but obviously, if you have the best cards in the game and you paid to get them ahead of everybody else, then you're naturally going to have a way higher chance of winning in a one-on-one match. So, card games definitely have that aspect to them, but I feel like they're maybe not quite as bad as some of the other mobile games.
Okay, that's good then.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been totally fine so far. I'm gonna keep it going, see how I like it, and but I think I might still prefer Gwent though, that version.
Gwent's so good. Like, I haven't played the actual standalone Gwent thing, but I played so much Gwent in The Witcher 3. Like, a majority of my time was spent looking for Gwent cards, trying to fill out my decks. Like, I wasn't playing The Witcher at a point. It was like I was playing Gwent.
No, it's definitely one of those things to where maybe it's they changed up the card game formula enough to where I think maybe that's why I like it so much. And yeah, I really, that's my preferred one still, because I really like their style, the way the 3 different lanes of types of units and how some of the special cards works and stuff, and the status effect cards. I felt like they got really creative with that, and yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed the version in The Witcher 3, then the Gwent, the actual full blown game, is that even more blown out. So it's pretty good.
Because that's a lot of that is just. Is there a single player part of the standalone Gwent?
So it's still considered in preview program, I think, on Xbox and PC, and I think that is the one thing they haven't added yet that they're still working on. Apparently it's going to have a full-fledged campaign to where you literally are you have Geralt and you're walking around on an overview world map.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how crazy that's going to get. Like, clearly, it's not like, it's a Geralt figure and he's walking around on, like, a stationary map.
Yeah, right.
But hey, that's more than all these other games have done, though,
Yeah, 100%. So, and that's what, I would just be nervous about having to actually play people, because you think you're really good at a game when you're playing an NPC on easy. It's completely different when you're playing somebody who's has 40 hours into this card game. I'd get
exactly stomped. And that's one of the things I learned having played that game was when I jumped online, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even know these were strategies until now, and wow, like now, okay, yeah, I should be doing what this guy is doing. I didn't even think about that, like in all my time playing just the bots and stuff. So
but then it's like, if you're stomping people in like PvP on that, if you go into The Witcher 3, you should be able to just mop the floor.
Yeah, theoretically, right? Yeah,
that's a good training regimen.
Yeah, that should be the novice arena at that point.
Exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, that's probably still my go-to. I would definitely recommend that to anybody to check it out.
Is Gwent? That's not on mobile, is it? That'd be
not
too
yet.
Easy for me. Is it supposed to be?
It's supposedly that's the last thing they're bringing it to. I thought it would have been there by now. I just remember reading a blog entry like a year ago saying that they were eventually bringing it to mobile. But right now, I think it's just PC, Xbox, and PS4. I want to say so. And PC and Xbox is. I swear this is not intentional. This is another one of those games that Sony said no to crossplay. So PC and Xbox has crossplay, PS4 doesn't. Yeah, and that was not intentional, by the way.
Sure wasn't.
Yeah. There's not a lot of games, but it's one of those few games that's an issue with. Also, been playing Sea of Thieves. The new weekly update is the powder keg skeletons for the bilge rats.
Are they just kind of boomers?
Yeah, basically.
Like, get too close to them and they explode?
Totally. Well, they've actually changed up how kegs work, so kegs will still ignite, obviously, if they come into contact with the ship or whatever, but now they have a little cork fuse on them, and if you press right trigger, it will set off a 5-second fuse to where you can either carry it with you, set it down, or whatever, really, for that matter. So skeletons, when they get close to you, they'll set off that fuse. If you run away quick enough, they'll actually stop the fuse. They won't blow up. So there's that aspect to it now about the whole light a fuse thing, and people have been doing like chain reactions with it at outposts and stuff like that. But the thing that the weekly commendations are for is to basically get like group up skeletons, kill certain types, set off chain reactions. They still are going the route of, hey, we want people to work together, and it kills me that they're still trying to do this, but 2 of the commendations require you to be on a active skull fort with another crew and basically blow up skeletons while at least one other team member of a different crew is on the island at the same time. And,
yeah, like they wouldn't murder you on the spot.
Well, here's the thing. Megalodon, you could argue that, like, okay, more crews to help fight this. There's no inherent loot coming out of it. It'll probably be easier to get people. And that was hard enough to get people to work together on that. People are not going to want to work together on a skull fort when the only reason you are there is to get the loot. So, I really wish they would stop doing that. Although I will say this to people out there. Apparently, Rare has kind of been catching on to this, and I didn't realize this till a couple days ago when I tested it out. It is true. That is not actually a requirement. Even though the commendation says that's the only way to get it, you can totally go to a skull fort, and if you kill them like normal, it will still unlock that commendation. So I don't know if that's a glitch or Rare's way of saying, hey, we get it. Even if you absolutely cannot find people to make work, help you work through this. If you do it, you'll still get it by yourself. So
okay, yeah.
So at least
that's
that.
good.
Other than that, they've added when boats get hit by cannonballs or kegs, they sway real violently now. That I will say that has really changed up PvP, because now when you hit another boat, you are throwing their it's no longer just a steady level. Off. Exactly, yeah. It's actually way crazier now in that term. Friendly fire is on with cannons now, and so basically, if you're on another boat, if you're on an island, I could be totally wrong, and maybe I just took a break and didn't remember this, but I'm almost certain, was friendly fire always a thing?
No, it wasn't, because I remember, I think it was when I was playing with you, I was doing a skeleton fort, and I was just like running around in a circle.
Right, exactly,
like,
yeah.
Getting them together, and then you'd fire a cannon, like, I don't know, like a couple feet behind me. And yeah, I didn't take any type of, like, even small damage. So
yeah, so that
must be new.
Yeah, so they've turned on friendly fire. I will say the thing that they did for this update, which better sooner than later. But I think this update it was so vital because with these commendations, you are constantly dying like all the time with powder kegs and stuff.
Right.
Your respawn time from the Ferry of the Damned is almost instant now on Xbox. So as soon as that door opens on the ferry and you go through the door, you are back on the boat within 2 seconds.
Oh,
so there's
good.
no like 10, 15 second black screen now anymore.
But are you still have to be on the actual Ferry of the Damned for X amount of time, right?
Yeah, okay, I think it's still like a 15 or 20 second timer.
So I feel like that's a huge part of PvP. It's like, we took out 3 of them, we're good to go.
And see, PvP, you could argue it's already hard enough to sink ships anyways,
let
alone
for sure.
like if they were spawning back instantly. But no, luckily you still have to stay on the Ferry of the Damned for a set amount of time, but at least you're not going through the door and like waiting another 10 or 15 seconds for the screen to load up or whatever. So
that's good. I caught this in the news this week. Did you see the Game Informer? I think they were talking to, it might have been the game director, asking if they had any plans for Battle Royale in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you almost feel like every developer at E3 probably got asked about Battle Royale, in one form or another. I do think it was interesting. Their response was just not outright, no, like not going to happen, like not a thing. Like they clearly entertained the idea of it, although I like their response of like, if it's going to be a thing in our game, it would clearly be our spin on it. It would be our not the traditional battle royale you would think of, which I think the traditional battle royale probably wouldn't work in Sea of Thieves. I think you would have to do a very unique twist on it. But
it'd definitely be tough. Like, I would say one idea that I would have is be like, it would just be once your ship was sunk, so it would be like straight ship combat. It would really take the islands out, which I mean might be a bad thing though. But like if you sink a ship, you're just done, and like that's all it is.
Well, the idea of like having like a full 360 storm around you the entire time, and that's shrinking, causing you to go in like that. I mean, that does seem like a that seems that would be a cool aspect of it. I don't think it would have to be 100 people necessarily or anything.
I don't think
like,
they'd be able to.
Yeah, like you could do like a set area and have like 20 sloops or whatever, and it's a shrinking storm. I don't know. You almost feel like it would almost turn into a demolition derby sooner rather than later with some of that.
A bunch of galleons just smashing into each other.
But hey, it could be fun though. I mean, I would definitely try it out for sure. So I mean, but
that's the thing. It's just adding something in that's like a hot phrase right now, like Battle Royale, and it's like maybe some people that fell off of Sea of Thieves could be like, oh, hey, did you see that they're doing a Battle Royale thing? We might as well check it out.
Yeah, no,
but I also
totally
don't know
agree.
how much work has to go into that. It's like you have all your textures, you have your ships, you have your storms. It's like everything's there. It's just actually putting the work into it, and I don't know if that's exactly what they want to be focused on right now.
Well, they recently said, I don't know if we brought it up in the news story last week, how we previously talked about how they have 3 live teams. They have 1 team dedicated to maintenance and bug fixes, and 3 teams are each constantly leapfrogging each other on the expansions.
Yeah, right.
So they just added a 4th team to that. So theoretically, that 4th team might not be just another expansion. It could be
it's the Battle Royale team.
It's literally just they call it the chicken dinner team or whatever. Like
exactly. They'll never tell us.
You never know. So there's that. And not to go on too long before in my little bit, I also did play another game I forgot to mention was Moonlighter. I got that for Xbox and I've been trying that out.
You want to know I haven't bought Moonlighter? It's because I heard that it's coming to Switch eventually.
oh yeah, and it's when you look at it, you're like, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer Switch game. Highly recommend that game. That is a really awesome idea that they. So you probably know the premise, but for anybody listening that might not know the premise or kind of wants to get pitched on it, basically it is your typical. It has your elements of a typical roguelike dungeon crawler to where. The premise is at night, you're a shop owner that is going into these dungeons to get loot and basically bring it back to your shop to sell during the day. And each dungeon has 4 levels, the last level being the boss, and if you beat the boss, you unlock another dungeon, and there's like, I want to say like 7 or like maybe 6 or 7 main dungeons, but the cool thing is it's a roguelike, so every time the dungeon is randomly generated. So even if you beat a dungeon, you can go back to it for loot or whatever, and different dungeons have different loots, etc., etc. But the cool hook of this game is you are in a town that's kind of – the town was set up because it was near these dungeons and creature caves, and all these adventurers came, and then the town fell on hard times. It almost gives you the idea of it's like a Western like town that sprung up around a mine and then got abandoned or whatever. But so the town's not doing good, and you're trying to basically get your shop up and running, and at the same time get the town up and running better. So you'll go into the dungeon, get a bunch of loot, and then you'll come back and your shop during the day and literally put stuff out for sale. And it's even more involved than you would think. So, like, you'll go to put stuff on sale, and at first you don't have any notes on any items, and then somebody will come in and buy an item, and they'll give you, like, a smiley face, neutral face, frown, ecstatic face. So if they give you, like, a smiley face, it's probably in the right price range.
Or you might be able to bump it up a tiny bit.
Exactly. It also introduces the fact of, like, you don't want to inflate the market too much with too much of that product. Say, like, you get a rare stone, and the value's really high. It'll stay high as long as you don't just, like, put it on every one of your tables, that item, and then, like, you're just flooding the market. Like, it's got a lot of aspects to it like that. People can come in your shop to steal items that you have to catch, but they look shady AF, so you can spot them from a mile away.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's got a lot of, but then, like, you'll start getting notes on items like people seem to want to pay this price for it. If it's this high, they don't like it, or if it's this price, and you don't want it too low because then
you're losing out on money.
Yeah, so it's got that, and then not only that, you can upgrade your shop, you can upgrade items in your shop, you can upgrade different buildings in the town, which I haven't done yet, but you get the idea that that'll give you different upgrades and stuff that you can use for the dungeons. Also, they do a almost mini game with the items in your backpack, which I thought this was really cool too. So, like, you'll get an item in a dungeon, it'll say anything to the right of this item gets destroyed, so you'll want to put it on the far right side of your backpack. Or you'll get an item that says anything, and it will have a diagonal direction on it. Anything in this direction gets duplicated by 2, so put that diagonal to a really expensive item. Yeah, so it almost has like a inventory management mini game that actually added another layer that ended up being really cool. Highly recommend this game. It's really fun. If it was just a dungeon crawler roguelike, I'd say it's average at best, but it's got these extra layers, which is a really unique spin that I think is totally recommend to people. I want to say it's $20, maybe 30, but even if it's 30, it's a total buy day one. It's a good game.
That's the thing here is, like, the hook in this game isn't the stuff that you've seen 100 times. It's the economy, run a shop.
Yeah.
Like, have a notepad next to your actual controller in real life, marking down what you can sell goods for.
Yeah, which thankfully they do put that in, like, a in-game notebook to where you're not having to do that a lot on your own. Like, it'll save a lot of that.
Okay, well that's good. I was picturing you with a notepad.
Yeah, totally. Well, actually, you'd probably have to if it did do that. But yeah, like I said, I've not done a lot of the town upgrades. I've not done a lot of the house upgrades because, like, you can upgrade your bed, and if you sleep, you get a HP bonus in the dungeon. Like, there's all these different aspects to it of things you can upgrade, and it's really neat. Highly recommend it. Really, really cool little, not a full-fledged, AAA game, but a really cool indie game.
Were you getting Stardew vibes at all when you played it? I don't know if it's just the style or, like,
well, I was about to say, I was literally about to say, I didn't say it, but I wanted to say about the town upgrades. Like, you get a Stardew Valley vibe, basically, from it when you get to the town upgrades and the shop upgrades and stuff. Like, it totally gives you that vibe. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I went to PAX East these last 2 years, and 2 years ago was the first time I had played this game, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is Stardew Valley with, like, dungeon crawling and, like, shops and stuff.
Totally.
So I made sure to find it this past year, and then it's finally coming out, and I was like, oh man, day one, get it. And then I was like, and we're coming to Switch eventually. And I was like, well, this is the perfect portable game for me. So.
Oh, well, last thing about that, since for anybody that likes Stardew out there that's coming to Xbox Game Preview Program later this year, have any of you guys been following the Gravedigger? I'll look up the title here. It's like Graveyard Keeper, I think is the name of it.
It's called what?
Let me find it real quick. It is called, because I'm following it on Twitch.
You're fine. And for anybody wondering, Chocolate's been gone for the past 20 minutes. It's because the baby woke up, had to feed her. He's back now, though, so say hello, Chocolate.
Awesome.
Yeah, hello. Sorry about that.
They probably wondered why we kicked you off the show and when. But, hey, you're back.
They literally kicked me out as soon as I said hello. They were like, "No, that's it. We're done. You're out."
Your baby, your little girl heard, and it's like, nope, not having it.
I didn't like how you said hello, so
yeah,
you got a 20-minute timeout. Welcome back.
Well, yeah. Thank you for letting me stare at my walls. It was fantastic.
I hope you learned something in timeout.
Yeah,
I did. I shall never backchat Risky ever again.
Oh man,
you got that name, Doc?
Oh yeah, sorry, Graveyard Keeper. And I'm not making this up. It is, think of Stardew Valley, but you run a graveyard, and that includes basically you'll. The premise is that you live next to this village that's kind of ramshackled, and the idea is that they want you to get this graveyard and this church and everything back and up to its prestigious former self, and while at the same time also upgrading the town.
The community center? We're upgrading the community center?
Might as well be. But so like you can upgrade the church, you can upgrade you literally have a morgue below the church to where you have to drain the body of blood, you have to embalm it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to, like it's like a full-fledged like mortuary like type game, but it looks just like Stardew Valley. Like you guys totally got to look it up on YouTube.
Mortician Simulator?
Basically,
yeah.
Graveyard Keeper's the name. It's coming to it's out on alpha, I think, on Steam, or preview program on Steam now, and it's coming to Xbox Game Preview this summer. It looks, as morbid as this to say, it looks really. It scratches that Stardew Valley itch, and same thing with Moonlighter. It does. So
just keep playing Moonlighter and Stardew, you weirdo.
I guess, right?
It's a weird dark hole you're about to go down.
Yeah.
What's funny is you look at the game reviews, and a lot of people make a really good point, because apparently all the bodies you get to bury are from the town, and you end up like burying a lot of people, and it's like, how many people does this small town have that are constantly dying for whatever reason?
And who's killing them all?
Yeah, it's like, is it explaining away with the plague or something? Like, I don't know, but definitely worth checking out, though.
That's I would turn this game into a murder mystery that I would never be able to solve. It would drive me insane.
Yeah, or are you the one doing it because you're the one that stands to profit? Like, maybe that's a mini game. You're like a murderer by day. Like, I don't know. Like,
if you don't do a good job, is there zombies?
I don't know, because clearly there's
that's
actually,
the DLC. That's the DLC.
Apparently there is an aspect to where if you don't prepare the bodies in a certain way, like I don't know how it. I don't know. Actually, I don't know enough about the game. I haven't watched much of it, but there is certain aspects to how you do a good job or not. So,
well, all right.
There you go.
All right, Chocolate, you're back. What have you been playing this week?
I have been on Shadow Complex. I'm loving that game still.
Are you? I feel like that's not that long of a game, is it?
No, I got told today. I was speaking to one of the guys in the community, and he was saying he beat it in 5.5 hours.
Okay.
I feel like I've been playing it for 5.5 weeks.
Just 10 minutes a day?
You trying to say Chocolate's bad at games, Risky? What are you trying to say here?
I guess.
You're bashing me again.
I didn't want to. I didn't say it. Say it.
But I was making you think it.
First level, let me tell you.
I tell you what, yeah. I didn't know whether to press A or B. I just wasn't sure.
Xbox, Nintendo, I'm lost.
So I'm stuck. I am actually officially stuck now.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
What level are you on?
4th-ish. There's some water. I've just got. I've got a jetpack, so it's probably about 20 minutes after you get your jetpack.
Sounds like you could use a guide.
I could be. I'm going to be one of those people. I haven't done it for a while. I'm going to YouTube something and see how to do it.
That's okay. That's where I'm at in Hollow Knight. I'm just stuck where I've been to like the same places like 18 times a piece, and I'm like, nope, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'll be looking that up. Well, there's a fine line between like using your brain and then solving a problem and just not being able to do it and just getting frustrated and not wanting to play the game anymore. And like that's the line I don't want to cross into. Like I don't want to put it down because I'm too stupid to figure it out. So I'm going to look it up.
That's like a Turing test. Like when I eventually break down sometimes or had to like look it up, and I look at it and I'm like, man, I'm an idiot. How did I not see this?
Or that's the thing. You're analyzing
the subtle clue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you completely miss the subtle clue because you're like, there's a big lever over there. That's the one that opens the door.
Or you get set on like, okay, it's got to be this way. I'm getting this first part. I have to be getting this first part right. So how do I get this second part right? Like, yeah, it's just...
Nope, first part was wrong.
Yeah, it turns out, whole line of thought, trash.
Yeah,
it's tough.
So yeah, been on that, and just Battlefield really. Gaming wise, it hasn't been great for me this week. We've had friends over. I've played a couple of games of English football.
Soccer?
Excuse me.
Football.
I think he said soccer.
No, I did not say soccer.
Hard.
You guys are getting into football over there now?
Yeah. You know, the round ball, not that stupid egg-shaped type thing that you guys throw with your hands. But anyway, so I played a couple of games of those.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Weird.
Yeah. So I've been sore, and that's it. I'm too old for this. Too old for it.
You're never too old. Maybe you are eventually.
Well, when you wake up the next day and there's a muscle that you never knew you had that aches, you're definitely getting too old for it.
Sometimes I get out of my desk chair and wonder how I just hurt my back. So I do understand. I sneezed a couple weeks ago, and I swear to God, I threw my neck out. So yeah, and you're doing things that are physical, and you're not still in your 20s. So I'm probably the one that's screwed here.
Well, I was going to say, at least you're not sneezing and peeing. I mean, that would probably be the
oh God,
go down the doctors.
There's a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing while sneezing.
I hate it when you drive.
24/7.
Driving and sneezing, it's like a death trap.
Scariest thing ever. That's when you let go of the wheel and you stop hitting the gas and you sneeze quick. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's like Russian roulette. Probably don't play that game. Bad idea.
Yeah. It wouldn't be.
Or Russian roulette.
Yeah, that's been my week, really. Nothing exciting.
I was going to say, I feel like, at least for me, I'm sure this goes with you guys too, but like during the summer, I just seem to really fall off games. It's like not only because it's a dead period in games generally, because we haven't had a new good release in a while now, and just like with like everyone's doing things that aren't video games around me all the time during the summer. I'm in the same boat where it's like I haven't been getting a ton played, and that's why I've been playing so much on my Switch, is just because I can bring it here, I can bring it there, I can bring it wherever. I can
sit outside with my friends and play my computer.
Dude, I'm so yeah. This literally happened yesterday. I was out on my back deck. I brought a TV out and set it up to watch the Yankee game. So I was watching baseball on the screen that was on the deck, and then had my Switch on the table in front of me, and I had a giant umbrella above me, and I was like, yeah, this is being outdoors. This is fine.
Living.
I'm fine.
So you were just a level above having the screen door open on the inside part,
literally,
basically.
yes.
Just a step above that, actually.
Yeah, 100%. So that's where I'm at in my life.
All right.
Over here in the UK, it's been so hot. It has been unbearable. My kids they are like animals at the moment. They have no idea what the hell is going on.
Why is it so hot? Yeah. I mean, we've had the same thing. It's gross. I don't like it.
No, I can't. I can get to I think a nice temperature with a breeze. If there's no breeze, that's it. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. You're melting.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want to get sweaty walking the 10 feet from my front door to my car. Like, that shouldn't happen, but it is happening. Bring back winter. I'll always say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a winter man. My poor 8-month-old. She's getting her teeth as well at the moment, so she's like all over the shop.
That sounds miserable.
It is for her and for me.
That sounds miserable for everybody.
Yeah.
Even our listeners, they had to miss out on your beautiful voice the last 20 minutes, and it's her fault.
It is. God damn her. That is it. I'm pulling that tooth out.
Oh man.
Just some Tylenol, you'll be fine. What do y'all have over there for Tylenol? What's your all's name, Brad?
We do. What do we do? Cowpole, really. It's Cowpole and
I forgot what yours is called. Yeah.
Cow poo. No. Yeah, I go around the back to the field and I just go on, cow, drop it hot.
So that's what your acetaminophen's called. What's your ibuprofen or naproxen?
Oh, here we go. The doc has arrived. Here he is.
Ah, damn. I'm semi interested though to what theirs is called.
We can see. No, ibuprofen. We've got ibuprofen.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Just
kidding.
So it's Calpol and ibuprofen are the
Calpol. Okay.
Calpol.
You guys have my doll over there?
No.
No? All right.
No.
Too bad.
Great.
So how much of the show have I missed?
You missed a big long Sea of Thieves talk. No surprises.
Oh, thank God.
There.
Yep.
Score.
Do you want to hear it again? No.
No.
You didn't really miss much. There was a good talk about Sea of Thieves there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
But on to me and what I've been playing, because that's what's most important.
Amen.
I bought...
rename the podcast.
You don't have to do that. Shouldn't all be about me.
If you insist.
So I broke down and finally bought 9 Parchments after being...
I've never heard of this game before.
Oh, you've never heard of 9 Parchments?
No, I need you to tell me about it. I've never, ever heard of this game before.
Harry Potter meets Diablo 3. Mind blown.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Looking at you, Moose. Just kidding.
Yeah, so God. Moose has been harassing me to buy this game forever. I finally downloaded it. He's like, I don't believe you. So I sent him a picture, and I was like, yeah, I'm right here. Like, let's play.
Moose called fake news on your 9 Parchment.
He did. And so I was like, all right, well, like, I'm in a lobby. Let's play. And he was like, well, it has to be like an open lobby. So I had to restart the story. I was like a couple missions in. So I was like, all right, well, I'll start over so we can play together. And then somehow I'm sitting here in a lobby waiting to play, and Moose is on Fortnite. And then it was like, oh, do you want to just play Fortnite? So then we played Fortnite for the next hour and a half.
The tables have turned.
I was like, this is a joke. This is a sick joke.
This has been your crusade for how long, Moose?
I mean, granted, I would have, in that moment, much rather played Fortnite than the game I just spent money on.
We're just putting all the cards on the table.
But it is there, and I'm willing to play it whenever. It does, I mean, genuinely, it seems like it does a couple things that are pretty cool. You have your different spells, your different like elements that do more damage, like fire will beat ice, blah 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 blah, and you're just casting spells. The cool thing is that friendly fire is on, and it's friendly fire for like everything. Like any element you shoot out, anyone can absorb it. Well, right, so it's gonna be a nightmare anyway. Like I can't imagine having 4 people on that tiny Switch screen, all just
chaotic.
Like some of the spells, you can literally just fire them like a machine gun, like over and over and over.
Sorry ahead of time, everybody. Like, I had to do it.
Somebody's getting hit with that. But also, like if you throw a healing potion and you hit an enemy with it, you'll actually heal the enemy.
Oh wow!
Risk reward kind of thing with that stuff.
Yeah, so some of that stuff's cool. Like I literally played a mission or two and then had to restart, so I haven't played barely any. But I thought I'd include this because
he has harassed everyone.
I know.
It seems like this will be a Ryan game too, if you're talking like
just because there's magic and spells.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
he needs to buy a Switch.
So
not to completely pick on Ryan, but how many times will he orgasm if he buys that Witchbrook game that the Stardew Valley people are making eventually when he gets that? Because that supposedly is this Harry Potter Stardew Valley.
I'm not gonna lie, the thought of Stardew Valley at like Hogwarts. Kind of
I'm going to buy it too. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
I think that sounds amazing.
I think you'll have to buy a Switch at this point, Ryan, when that comes out, because
that'll be his breaking point. I think.
Yeah, that'll be your
best when that comes out.
Who else has Moose roped into 9 Parchments?
No one.
So far?
No one.
Just you.
You know what? Absolutely no one. Just me, because I'm a sucker.
I was just about to say, suckered you right in there.
The stupid game goes on sale every other week for $9, and I was like, all right, well, it's here this week. Whatever, I didn't get coffee today. Let's buy it. All right.
I really thought it was going to be one of those things where Moose eventually just broke down and bought it for somebody. He's like, play this with me.
Please play this with me.
Please play this with
game,
me.
Damn it.
Should we go play Fortnite instead?
Literally what happened. We got a win our first game, though, so it was pretty good. We were obviously playing on Switch because we don't win otherwise.
My favorite version.
Yeah, new season, couple days. Stay tuned. I'll be talking about a bunch of that next week. The other game I picked up because it was on sale was Flinthook, which came out. Has to be a couple of years now. You guys heard of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, one of you has.
Tell me. Tell me about it.
It's a roguelike, so you're constantly dying, starting over, randomly generated dungeons, that kind of stuff. The cool thing about this one though is that it's 2D, which I feel like I personally haven't played. I play a lot of the top-down roguelikes, things like Enter the Gungeon is what comes to mind. But this is like a 2D platformer, and the big thing here is that you have a grappling hook. That's like how you're going to traverse a lot of the map. There's little points where you can grapple onto all the time, and then you have a pistol as well. You can get bombs. I'm not super far into it. But you're like a space pirate, I would say. That's what it seems like. I feel like I should probably know. And you're boarding these ships.
Oh wow!
So you have to go through 3 of these ships. At the end of each ship, there's like a mini boss you have to fight, and you'll get some power for your compass. And once you've powered up your compass through these 3 different ships, you'll get the location of like a main boss, and that's like the big bounty that you're trying to take down. So you get your 3 parts, and then you can move on to the boss. You still have to fight a bunch of little dungeons, and then you'll finally get to the boss. But if you die, because it's a roguelike, if you die during those 3 ship missions before the one big main mission, you start over. So it's frustrating, but the cool thing here is that your XP and your powers carry over, so you're not losing everything every single time. If you gain XP, you get a few levels, you can bring that with you the next run. So like if you have 25% health pack on you, you don't lose that for the next run. So you're progressively getting stronger, and like there's things that makes the range on your pistol, because right off the bat it shoots kind of like shotgun distance, so not very far at all, but you can put like an attachment or like a perk. You can put a perk on it that'll make it so it shoots a bit farther, and it's as you're going, you're leveling up, you're opening up more slots to put these perks in. So it's cool. This is the kind of roguelike that I'm into, because it's not like all or nothing. It's like I do feel like I am progressing, albeit slowly. So I think I read somewhere that it's 4 or 5 like main bosses. And then once you beat them all, you can kick up the difficulty level, another level, and you can keep going. It sounds like there's a lot of replayability. I read somewhere it was like 10 or 12 hours, I think, for the first playthrough, depending on how you are at platformers. So this could take me years potentially, but I'm definitely enjoying it though.
Definitely sounds like it's got like that aspect of like Rogue Legacy, and it's where like you can, like you said, like you're carrying over stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's my biggest hang up sometimes with roguelikes, is that it's so devastating to get far, and are almost kind of like Binding of Isaac. My issues with games like that is just like you hate to get so far, and then like you didn't, that run wasn't the run, and you don't get it, and it's like back to square one. So.
Well, that's like with some of because everything's procedurally generated, like the actual dungeon rooms, it's like sometimes you can really get screwed with like some dungeons are just incredibly hard, and there's like you're set up from failure as soon as you enter the room. So it's like it doesn't feel like a complete loss when you go down and then you have to start over. But I mean, if you're buying this game, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Like you either like roguelikes or you don't. I went through a phase where I was playing them all the time, so this one's really good.
Yeah, watch the video. I definitely like the look of it for sure. It's the whole grapple thing seems really cool. Yeah,
and yeah, I think that's definitely what makes it stick out from the pack. From a lot of it's just the traversal itself, and like it's still a tough platformer. Like there's spike floors, and you have to hit little tiny things. And then you do have to use the grapple like multiple times in the air. Like sometimes to hit a boss in a certain spot, you're gonna have to grapple up into the air. Kind of reminds me of like Bionic Commando from way back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I maybe a few hours into it. But this is what happens when Hollow Knight stumped me. I was like, oh well, this game I need to go to the eShop and spend more money. And it is on sale, and I was like, oh, a long time ago, I remember like hearing other podcasts, people were talking about Flint Hook being this great platforming roguelike, and I was like, all right, well, hey, $9.99, pull the trigger.
And you're like, I would rather have that than 9 parchments anyways. I'll get that next time.
Yeah, so I should have just asked if I could trade. Be like, hey, Nintendo, we'll just even swap here, okay?
I do need to get Hollow Knight. I really need to buy that. I need to play that.
Hollow Knight's good.
I got it on Steam, but I need to. I want the Switch version though. That's the perfect place for it.
That's like these games like that. And it was the same thing with Moonlighter. It's like at this point, I'm so excited for that game, but I'm gonna wait because
that thing is made for indie roguelikes, 100%. Yeah,
exactly. That was really it for me though this week. I don't even think I turned on my Xbox besides to stream. And that's usually just PUBG. So that's me. And I guess that's everybody and what they've been doing then. Yeah. Sorry, I was like, who's next? Well, everybody already talked about what they've done. So we can move on. And by moving on...
Wait. What's that noise?
What?
Oh, no.
Warning, incoming missile.
I won't do the Superman reference. Let's go. So our phrase for this episode is soccer.
It's what?
Soccer.
Soccer?
Oh, that's the one where you kick it with your foot. Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I like soccer.
That's that fifth most popular sport in the world game, isn't it?
Don't test me, people. Do not test me. So, the premise of the game, if you don't already know, we've got a 4-word phrase. You need to listen to 2 episodes to get the first, and the previous episode to get the second word. Soccer is this week's word. Next week, you'll get 1 more word. We should really record this in a big bulk, so I don't have to keep going through it.
We really could do that if you want to.
Totally could do that.
That's pretty easy, actually.
Yeah. And next week will be the final word in the phrase. Then what you'll need to do is email us at cagpodcast@gmail.com. Check me out. With the full phrase, and then we'll stick you all in a magic pot, and the person who is lucky enough to get picked out will win a month's worth of Game Pass.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Whoop whoop. Yeah, that's it. If you are confused, just email us, send us a tweet, Insta me.
I got a question.
Hit us up
Chocolate.
on Discord.
Discord.
Is the World Bowl still going on? I'm sorry, World Cup. Is that still going on?
Oh my God, people. Yes, and England are in the
Did I get it right?
semi-final.
Is it World Cup? Okay.
Yes, the World Cup. England are in the semis.
Hey, cool.
Is it coming home?
It needs to come home.
Who are they playing now?
They are Croatia, and we are playing them on Wednesday.
Belgium's going to beat them in the final. Calling it.
Who is? Who's going to beat them in the final? Belgium. You think Belgium are going to beat France tomorrow?
Oh, 100%. My soccer knowledge is up there with the best. So
is it on point?
How
much have you just Googled all of this?
I just happen to know what the 4 teams are left. So
okay.
I'm picking 2 and giving you the benefit of the doubt that England can make the final. So that's how we got there. And Belgium has waffles. France has French fries. Oh, shoot.
No,
I screwed up.
They do not.
I mean, I could be wrong. Is this a pretty random assortment as far as like semifinals go?
Well, England
I assume France is usually probably up there sometimes.
Thierry Henry.
He's the assistant manager for Belgium.
All right,
but well done.
Isn't he French?
He is French. You pulled that one straight out of the hat. So Belgium's manager is Spanish. His assistant is French.
That's broken.
I feel like Risky pulled up a random soccer Wikipedia page and just started naming off names of team members. Like,
no, Thierry Henry played for the Red Bulls for a while. I knew that.
He did, yeah. Yep, and he was a French icon for France, and also handled them into a World Cup, I think, or was it into the Euros?
I don't know who you're asking.
Yeah,
what is a Euro?
Okay, so
it's got Greek food with lamb.
You've got 2 competitions that run. So you've got the World Cup with all the world soccer teams playing, or football teams. You're making me say it now.
You're
and
welcome.
Then we have one over in Europe, which we call the Euros, and then all the European teams play. And while I think we have our Euros, the Americans, and I'll say the Americans, the Americas have their cup, the Copa America, which Chile and Argentina and everyone else.
So now World Cup is still the most prestigious.
So
would it go World Cup? Like, where would the Olympics be in this mix as far as
what, personally or in general?
Well, I mean, your opinion is probably more important than ours. I mean, as far as football
Olympics,
goes,
Olympics rubbish.
Okay, so basically that's probably lower. So would you consider like Euros above Olympics?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, what you've seen in the last, God, I'm trying to think how long now. Germany, when they won the World Cup, go back a few more years, quite a few of the youth or the younger players played in the Olympics.
Oh, so it's like their warm up for the.
I was gonna say, I feel like countries never field their best squads for the Olympics, right?
Well, there's certain restrictions. I think you're only allowed 2 players over a certain age, and
oh, what?
Yeah,
that's
it gets
weird.
all I don't. To be honest, I don't watch it, so I'm not a big lover of the Olympics anyway.
You just don't like
Last
soccer.
question then.
I don't like the word soccer. It's ridiculous.
Last question then. So Euros and World Cup's the top. Where does club fit into that? Like the club soccer and that.
So you go club soccer, then you go your Euros, then you'd go your World Cup.
Okay, so Euros are above club soccer. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because you're playing for your nation, so theoretically, nationally, all the things you win or do when you're in your nation squad, that's the more prestigious.
Gotcha.
Time.
All right, World Bowl. There you go.
The soccer ball. Right. Let's move on with the news because this is just going to infuriate our English listeners. So, Warframe is announced for Nintendo Switch by... You almost got me there. I am Ron Burgundy.
Almost worked.
You son of a gun. Right.
Oh, that's so good. For anyone who doesn't see what's going on our Google Doc right now, Doc must have wrote, "I'm Ron Burgundy" at the end of the news story.
I don't see anything on it right now. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Thing is, I looked at that twice as well.
Announced by "I'm Ron Burgundy."
Burgundy.
F you, San Diego.
I love Lamp. Right, go on.
I love Lamp.
What's going on with Warframe, Doc?
Yeah, so, hey, speaking of the Switch, what if you guys could play Warframe on the Switch?
I probably
wouldn't get Warframe.
Right? Hey, you know what? It made me like Fortnite. Maybe this will get me into Warframe.
That's true.
So.
It brought down the competition. Is there PvP in Warframe?
Yeah, can I use my Pro Controller on
100%.
it? Then I'm in. Yeah, so basically the official Warframe channel dropped a trailer for the Switch version. Correct me if I'm wrong, Risky. I could not find a release date for this.
I didn't see one either, no.
Yeah, so I'm guessing either late this year or early next, if I had to guess. But it is being ported by Panic Button. They are also the ones that have ported Doom, Wolfenstein, and Rocket League to the Switch, so they have clearly got the experience at this point as far as porting big AAA games over.
The only one I have any experience with there is Rocket League, and
Same.
that port's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So
totally, yeah.
How is that on the Switch? I would imagine that's a pain to play.
It's really not that bad. Like even in handheld mode, it's definitely, if you're used to handling the Switch, I think it's fine. But I wasn't having issues with like frame rate or anything. Not really.
Well, and I mean, I'm not in the same league as like Toast or Arkham or any of those guys, but like for me, just the whole thing that the Rocket League lets you follow the ball automatically and stuff, that definitely helps with like handheld controls and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's not as bad as you might think it would.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not a massive Rocket League player, but it just seems that going onto the Switch would be, I don't know, wouldn't be as easy to play.
I mean, it's definitely better, I think, on the Xbox. But I mean, if you have a Pro Controller and you're actually in docked mode on your Switch, it's probably not far off. It probably doesn't look as good. That's about it.
I will say the cross-platform play actually works pretty well because the other night we were playing Rocket League and we're like, I wonder if this works, and we're like, well, it doesn't have a system-wide account like Fortnite does, so we're like, well, I wonder if you can. But then we did the whole private room with 16-ounce room, and you search it on Switch and you could totally find it. We couldn't make it work, but because I think Organic said he had an option to where it was Xbox only clicked for that room.
Okay.
But apparently we're assuming if you flip that off it would work, because on Switch I found the room and the password worked. It just said the room was set to Xbox only. So theoretically, if that wasn't the case, it would work. So, yeah, cool little note.
I just wonder, like, because you don't have like a Psyonix account or something, can you not, like, if you bought skins and stuff, can you not use them?
No.
Don't carry over. Nope, skins don't.
That kind of sucks.
Because see, like, I've got like Mario skins on the Switch version, and that does not pop up
Oh,
on the Xbox version.
Okay. I got that. Also kind of makes sense. The last update I saw for Rocket League had the Jurassic Park like Jeeps.
Oh yeah,
Moose had that. It was awesome.
I got to get in there and buy those.
Must go faster.
Well, you need to get ready for the Rocket League tournament that's going to happen.
I was going to bring it up at the end of the podcast, but I'll just do it now anyways.
Do it now.
So if you join us over in Discord, the 16-ounce gaming family Discord, which is linked in the show notes, we're putting on the 16-ounce guys are putting on a Rocket League 1v1 tournament.
May possibly go 2v2, depending on numbers.
Potentially 2v2 if we do have enough people. That'll be happening in August. I think late August is what I was told. So it's still a month and a half-ish off, and we'll definitely, once there's a firm date, we'll let you guys know. But if you're interested in signing up for that, just coming out in Discord, and you'll see notifications and see us talking about it, and we'll definitely bring it up on the show as well. But that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Tune in to watch Toast play me 1v1, and you get to see what it looks like when a lion plays with his food. So.
Perfect. I want to see you play Ryan. That's next up.
yeah, that battle royale there. Hey, he'd probably beat me too. I'm terrible at that game. So.
I'm awful. If it goes 2v2 with the random assignment of partners,
you're gonna piss someone
whoever
off.
Gets me, it's going to be hilarious. I've played it twice.
Random assignment. Hey, Toast and Organics on the same team.
Oh,
it's completely random.
Yeah.
Completely random.
Let's see. Right. Going to the next bit. I'm reading that twice just in case you're trying to do me over.
You'll never look at them the same now.
No. Darksiders 3 coming November 26th.
Yeah, so we all knew this game was coming eventually. It had gotten, I want to say it was first detailed in a Game Informer article probably a couple years ago, I want to say. So this is the sequel to Darksiders 1 and 2, the first one being where you play the... I think you are literally the war horseman of the apocalypse, and then the second one you play Death. And this one, actually, I don't know who you're supposed to be. I just know it's a female with red
Fury,
hair.
I think is
Fury.
her name.
There you go. Yeah. So that is coming November 26th. So we finally got a date. It was one of those games that I was kind of expecting to see at E3, and when it didn't get showed, I thought that was a little weird. But for what it's worth, the first two games are in Game Pass right now. I've only played the first one briefly, although I will say it's a type of game that has a lot more in common with games like Zelda than you might think, as far as like unlocking certain areas, coming back later with items, things like that.
Do you know, are the versions in Game Pass the War Master and Definitive, like the remasters
I think
of those
the
two?
War Master is. I don't know if the second one is the Definitive. I can actually tell
also,
you.
what great names for...
Oh,
for remakes.
What are you trying to say, that the Red Faction Remastered wasn't the best name ever?
Hey,
what are you talking about? These names are great.
I chuckled. I think they're doing exactly what they're intending here. It's
John Remarston on the Red Dead. No, I'm just kidding.
God,
That's getting out of hand.
Nope. I changed my mind. I don't think it's funny.
Give me enough time
Not
with
when
anything,
Doc
I'll run
does
it
it
into
like
the ground.
that.
Yep. Doc's at it again.
Oh man, that knucklehead. Okay, anyways, Game Pass. Yeah, so you got the War Master. Oh man, now I hate saying it now too. Yeah, and Definitive. Oh, sorry. Damn. I hate the studio now with these names. Just reading it pisses me off. Like they've got death in purple and inative in just I just hate it. It makes me mad. Anyways, go on.
Who's going on? I think we're
Oh, great. Yeah, that's it.
Hope you're all excited.
No, hope you like these games. No. Yeah, these I don't know. It's like I said, I played a little bit of the first one. It seemed like a really good game. I think it was just one of those games that came out at a time when I had a lot of other stuff to play. And then because I didn't really play the first one much.
How do you do that so often? That happened at the end of last podcast. Like, nope, I lost my headphones.
It sounds like he's tapping the audio mic on the desk, being like, "Is this
thing on?
Is this loud?"
He can't get it in the hole.
Yeah, do you know what? I literally couldn't get it in the hole.
Well, that's clearly not the case. He has 2 kids, but
that was the trouble. After that, I stay away from the whole. Right, swiftly moving on. I can't believe I did that. What a div. Could you hear my thumb fumbling around?
Yeah, we heard.
a little
We heard
bit.
you go, oh, my headphones fell out again.
God damn it. Right, so moving swiftly on and professionally. Castlevania Season 2 release date. Doc?
I could take this one. There's not much here. I added this. Did you?
Okay.
Castlevania, the animated series on Netflix. It finally has a release date, and it's going to be October 26th. Season 2 is going to be 8 episodes. So if you want to continue watching Trevor Belmont's story, that's when you can do it. I really enjoyed Season 1, and that was the only reason I was bringing this up. Is because I don't think there's a lot of good video game media outside of the actual video games, like as far as movies and TV shows and stuff go. But I really enjoyed Castlevania Season 1. Did you guys watch that at all by chance?
Yeah, I'm not even a big anime fan, but I thought it was really good. I'm not even a big Castlevania fan, and I liked what little knowledge I had about Castlevania. I liked all the general story call outs and stuff, how they were going by the general theme of the, I guess. Are they taking the general theme of Castlevania Symphony of the Night? That's the general story going on here, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was really good though, as far as like a Netflix original anime.
Yeah,
goes.
not knowing anything about that, it seems like it was good for anyone. You didn't need to be a fan of Castlevania to enjoy what they put out there. So
I haven't watched it, but I did watch Halo Fall of Reach.
I would say Castlevania Season 1 is probably better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of Fall of Reach.
I don't think I've actually watched that.
It's not great. I'm going to watch the other 2. I think there's 2 more, isn't there, on Netflix?
Yeah.
So I can't.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have extensive history with anime, but like I liked Titanfall. I thought that was good, and then this one was another one I thought was really, really well done. But yeah, also maybe don't burn Dracula's wife at the stake. That might be good.
If you want to not piss off an undead vampire,
the evil, powerful, sorcerer like dude, maybe just not do that.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't.
Also, that happens super early.
That's true. That's like first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Which the very not to give away too much chocolate, because it's literally the beginning of the first episode, but like the beginning of the first episode did throw me off a lot about like, does this chick know this is like for the longest time I'm like, does this chick know this is Dracula? Like, because she's really playing dumb if she doesn't, and she's gonna die. But then it turns out she knew. Okay. Because she just goes up to Dracula's door and knocks. It's like, open the door up, asshole. Like, I'm here.
Okay. Come bite me. I'm ready.
I was told to show up after the sun went down. It seemed weird, but I came anyways.
She walked up to the most probable cause crime scene location house ever in the history of ever, and just was like, "Hey, I come alone. What's up?
Yep.
Is this the right residence?"
Did she have big, plentiful breasts as well?
It's not that type of.
How dare you, Chocolate? You act like this is some typical anime. Yes, she did. By the way. No.
Oh, okay. That's not bad then.
And then she threw up a peace sign.
I don't remember, actually. I think she was decently clothed, okay?
I think they're all pretty decently clothed. There's some pretty good murder in this one, though. So
yeah,
if you're into that,
might,
give it a look.
Trevor Belmont is he knows how to use a whip.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh wow. What was it, 50 Shades of Grey? Right, let me move on.
All right.
Same
good
thing.
choice.
Microsoft wants artificial intelligence to catch cheaters on Xbox Live. Doc, there seems like you're going to be talking for a while, so...
I'm going to break this down kind of briefly, because this was more of I just assumed they kind of did use this kind of tech already, but like the article basically points out how like there's not so much cheating with the fact that online games, because I feel like developers have come out and said we can pretty much identify when people are using cheats in online games, but this article is more pointing out how even back in the 360 days when achievements were first come around, people would basically disconnect their Xbox from the internet, use some cheats, unlock achievements offline, take the cheats off, connect the Xbox back, all the achievements pop at that point. So basically they're looking at using artificial intelligence to try to mitigate that as much as possible, I guess, because I'm not one of those people, but there are a lot of people out there that take achievement scores very seriously, I guess. So I guess this is more aimed at kind of the integrity for those kind of people.
But then you're saying about artificial intelligence to do this. What's the game site where you can compare your gamer score and do a league and stuff?
True Achievements.
True Achievements. Now, they can spot straight away if you've underhandedly, in massive air quotes, unlocked X amount of achievements and kick you out and not let you join leagues due to that exact reason.
That's what I kind of thought too, so I don't know if this is more geared at freeing up like just resources in order for this just to like spot the outliers, I guess maybe. Okay. But because the article basically went on to say like this would spot the outliers or maybe catch subtleties that people might not catch just by sifting through data, and then that would go on to a live person to evaluate and see if any disciplinary action had to happen, basically. So maybe it's much more intricate than I would have thought, because I'm like you. I mean, it seems likely that it would be like, oh, this Xbox was off for 10 minutes, and oh, they 100% achievements in this long RPG game popped off. You know? Like, that seems like that would be easy to spot, but maybe they're looking for ones that are even more subtle than that, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, but it's cool to see them, like, just like with the fast start and all these kind of things, just using the tech that they have for other services and just kind of incorporating it into the gaming division. So, but I don't know.
Well, I think they're heading the right way. I do like the way their Xbox are moving, or Microsoft are moving and updating. It's and it is great.
And the Google G Spot is coming, so gotta get ready for that.
Name not confirmed.
Well, hey, I mean, the problem with it, right? I mean, when it comes to
well, you can't find it.
You can't find it. It's never in stock, so
Oh my God, we need to stop. We need to leave. Was that the last news story?
Whole news story was just to set up the joke. No, I'm just kidding. No, not really. Yeah, that was the last one.
All right, great. Well, you guys ready to get
I
out
knew
of
Chocolate
here?
wouldn't let me down on that one. I knew it.
Of course. If anyone, yes, okay.
Well, if anyone wants to find it, is that what you were going to say?
No, he was not. I just knew you weren't going to leave me hanging. Like Risky, he's a wild card on some of those. I'm like, he may or may not bail on me, but I'm like, Chocolate. No, he's going to take the bait on that one.
No, definitely.
That he did.
Yes, I am Ron Burgundy.
God. All right, well, this week's great episode has been brought to you by Boss Boxes, the best gaming boxes delivered right to your doorstep. Head over to bossboxes.shop and use discount code 16ouncegaming for 10% off your subscription.
That is, can't stress the best enough.
Literally best is in all caps locks. So that's how you know. For real, go check it out. Save yourself some money. Or don't. You might get a virus. That was a joke. That was a joke.
But also seriously have ad block running.
But yeah, just in case. Can never be too safe.
Don't click any links, no matter how promising that refinancing your mortgage sounds. Just don't click it. Don't.
20% off? What?
Oh my God. All right.
You're losing money if you don't.
Well, we still have your
How
attention
did this
for
start?
sure. If everyone could please head over to iTunes, rate us, review us solely based off the last 5-ish minutes of the show. Those ratings should be through the roof.
After this banger, for sure. This episode's been a real good one.
I've enjoyed myself, and I hope you have too. For real, though, any likes, ratings, that stuff's all going to help us get a little more exposure and hoist us up to greatness, podcast greatness, right? That's all we're looking for.
Not looking for much. Don't ask for much.
Nope. But if you want to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, you can check us out at CAG Podcast. Search us there. We're fairly active. Thanks to
we'll be live tweeting the World Bowl.
The World Bowl. That's tomorrow. It's sometime when the opening kick of the soccer ball, the soccer ball.
The hottest takes.
Here first.
I will live stream the first 5 minutes of my face watching the game. No, actually, I won't. My wife's home.
And then I will do the same thing, and you guys can compare.
You'll get to hear my predictions on how many goals Wayne Rooney will get for England.
Oh, Jesus.
I know my stuff, man.
I'm not even going to bother.
I can't get all the way through the plugs. This is impossible. If you want to email us, you can reach out to us at cagpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to catch up on old episodes, you can head on over to crossatlanticgaming.cast.rocks. All the episodes are there. We are also part of the 16-ounce gaming family. You can hit us up on Discord. That Rocket League tournament that we talked about earlier, if you want news and information on that, head over there and chat with us and talk smack to Doc and Chocolate. I'm sure anyone listening can beat them at Rocket League. So,
and I don't even know if we were meant to announce anything about Rocket League, so my bad.
There was a announcement that was put up. That was said, "Is anyone interested?" You're making this really seem a lot less official than it is. I swear there's going to be a tournament, and I will be there. Hopefully beating up on Chocolate.
Yeah, I'll be out the first round.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I'll be out in the prelims.
Unless you get Ryan.
That's even a thing.
Ryan might be your only hope here, which won't come out of my mouth that often, but might be your only hope at advancing here.
Really? Is he that bad?
Ryan, tell me this in the let me know in the Discord, Ryan, if me putting a wizard hat on my car would be too insensitive when I play you.
Oh, wow. Do it. Do it.
Too far.
No, just far enough, as always.
Okay.
You can also find 16-ounce Gaming Family on Facebook and YouTube. Our podcast is posted in both places. We also have clips. A bunch of different guys stream at different times. There's that kind of fun stuff.
Stream team?
The stream team. Shout out to the stream team. Tonight,
Whoop.
10 p.m. Eastern. Be there. You're going to hear tomorrow, so that's not going to help. Okay. If you want to talk to me, I don't know why you would at this point, but Risky the Kid everywhere is where I will be. How about you, Chocolate?
I am Chocolatebear80 on Twitch, Twitter, my gamer tag. That's about it. All the cool stuff.
And
I'm down with the kids.
Uh-oh. And...
No.
Moving on.
And Doc.
Yeah, you can find me. DocH1X1 everywhere. My only Twitter and Mixer presence is that I am occasionally in the channel of Risky and Chocolate commenting. That is my official streaming presence. So, yeah.
That's right where we need you, I guess.
Yep. And I basically give live soccer commentary in those channels for whatever reason.
Oh.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
I'm sorry.
Go Pele. Goodbye.